Well, welcome to Sport Talk. I'm Kenneth A. Noy, and I'm joined in the studio by Harry Redknapp and Simon Jordan. We are reacting to another very negative, horrible performance by Spurs. Simon, just how bad was watching Spurs tonight?
Well, the narrative is that it's a very difficult question to answer, Kenneth. It's a very difficult question to answer, and the reason being, I've gone blind! Spurs have made my bleeding eyes bleed! It's horror crimes against football from Antonio Conte, the little horrible hairy upper lumper. He's a bird. That is a disgrace. It's an obtuse performance. You've not backed the courage of your convictions. I'll tell you something now. Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers would be jealous of that because it's a horror show. That's what it is. It should not be shown before 8 p.m. It's a disgrace. I would rather see Big Sam Allardyce and Steve Bruce rubbing bloody gravy all over the big hairy greasy bodies than I would watch their horrible crimes against football Burks.
Yes, but, Harry Kane, world-class striker, he really deserves to win some trophies. Will it ever happen at Spurs?
Well, let us all hope and pray that if Tottenham Hotspur get to a final, it doesn't go to penalties. Because Harry Kane takes one, and another 10,000 innocent pigeons are killed, aren't they? And listen, I know that Harry Kane has wasted his career at Tottenham Hotspur, but let's be honest, he's wasted 10,000 pigeons with that bloody penalty against France, hasn't he? He's a disgrace. Spurs winning a trophy is like getting a bloody appointment with your local GP. It's going to be a long bleeding wait. Of course it is. That's what it is. It's like John Terry getting a Christmas card off Rio Ferdinand and Wainbridge. Never gonna bleeding happen. Back the courage of your convictions, you horrible Burks.
Harry Redknapp, former manager of Spurs, obviously. Do you think that Spurs will go out and sign players in this transfer window, Harry?
Well, listen, Daniel Levy, he's a tight fella, listen, I was only on 500 quid a week at Spurs, which, after tax only works out about 25 grand a week, it was difficult, he only ever let me sign Crouch and Nico Crenshaw 15 times. Yeah, that was it. And he only let me sign my son Jamie Redknapp because he never cost a penny. I had to force him to play. Well, listen, Daniel Levy, he was a terribly tight little fella he was,
Well, I'm not sure if you know, but I used to own a football club, Crystal Palace. I used to own Crystal Palace, I haven't really mentioned it that much. I really haven't. But Daniel Levy is a football operator, and if Spurs do not spend money in the transfer window, it's not because of Daniel Levy. The reason that they will not spend money in the transfer window is because Harry Kane will probably bleeding smash it practising penalties. Because he smashed my bleeding windows and most people, he's an absolute imbecilic Burke.
Well, Simon, Spurs' formation today was 11-0-0. Do you think Antonio Conte is too negative?
Well, if Antonio Conte spent half the time practising playing attacking football than he did going to get hair transplants, Spurs would win every bleeding trophy on the bleeding planet, wouldn't they? The imbecilic Burks. They really would, because he was bald 10 years ago and now he's giving Casanit a run for his bleeding money. He is. Give Elton John his wig back, you horrible little Italian upper lumper.
Yes, the quality they have in attack, and they are the most defensive and negative team in the league, to be honest, aren't they?
Well, yes, Kenneth. Right, I'll say something now. They had Kane, Kulusevski, Son, Richarlison and Perisic. And they resemble a Tony Pugh of Stoke City 2011/12. Oh, he's horrible. Daniel Levy. I used to own Crystal Palace, I used to own a football club. I'm not really mentioning it that much. But what you've got to do is make an obtuse decision. Stop giving dollars for donuts. Get rid of the horrible little Italian cousin it. Back the courage of your convictions and say, hey, see you later, Conte. Well, Burks.
Well, thank you so much to Simon Jordan, even though he didn't let Harry Redknapp really get a word in. Thank you so much to my guests. We've been talking about how crap Spurs are. Thank you to all our listeners for listening to Sport Talk tonight. We'll see you soon again. I've been Kenneth A. Noy.
Well,